Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Abduction requires precision. You swoop in, grab the target, and vanish before anyone notices. It relies on the element of surprise and the predictability of human movement. But there is one region on Earth where movement is anything but predictable. The American Midwest. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. In these frozen lands, the act of leaving a house is not an action. It is a 12-stage negotiation known as the Midwest Goodbye. It starts with a knee slap and the phrase, "Welp, I suppose." But that is only the beginning. There is the foyer phase, the porch phase, the driveway phase, and the roll down the window phase. To us, it's just being polite. But to an alien fleet running on a tight schedule, this social ritual looks like a temporal anomaly. They track the humans heading for the door, they prep the tractor beam, and then they watch in horror as the humans stop, turn around, and start a completely new conversation about potato salad. Today's story is about the abduction squad of the Zeta Reticuli. They had one job: abduct the Anderson family after Sunday dinner. They arrived at 7 p.m. By 9:30 p.m. the Andersons were still saying goodbye. This is the story of how a casserole dish and endless small talk defeated a technologically superior species. If you have ever stood in a doorway with your coat on for 20 minutes sweating, smash that like button. You are a practitioner of the long goodbye. And if you want to see an alien commander have a stroke because someone said, "Oh, one more thing," subscribe and ring the bell. Welp, we better get going. High Commander Vrock hovered the stealth saucer the Snatcher directly over a ranch-style house in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The mission was simple. Grab the guests, Bob and Linda, as they walked to their car. Target locked, Technician Glip reported. The dinner ritual is complete. The biologicals are engaging the departure protocol. On the screen inside the house, Uncle Bob slapped his knees with both hands. Smack. "Welp," Bob said loudly. "It's getting about that time." Signal detected. Vrock shouted. "That is the initiation code. They are rising. Prepare the beam. We will grab them on the walkway in 30 seconds. Bob and Linda stood up. They gathered their coats. The hosts, Jim and Barb, stood up too. They walked towards the front door. Perfect timing, Vrock rubbed his hands. They are moving to the extraction zone. 5, 4, 3, but they didn't open the door. They stopped in the hallway. "Wait," Glip said. They have halted. The target, Linda, has initiated a new topic. Linda pointed at a picture on the wall. "Is that your niece? She's gotten so big." "Abort beam," Vrock yelled. They are engaging in family updates. "Reset the clock." "How long can this take, sir?" "Based on human efficiency? 2 minutes max, stay alert." 10 minutes passed. The humans were still in the hallway. They were now discussing the niece's college major, the price of tuition, and the weather in Madison. They are trapped. Glip panicked. "Is there a force field blocking the door? Why do they not leave?" "It appears to be a verbal web," Vrock analyzed. "The host, Barb, keeps throwing out narrative hooks to keep the guests ensnared. It is a psychological trap." Finally, Bob put his hand on the doorknob. "Okay then," Bob said. "Here we go." Vrock cheered. "He is opening the airlock. Beam ready." Bob opened the door. Cold air rushed in. But Bob didn't leave. He stood there holding the door open, letting the heat out. "Why is he venting the atmosphere?" Glip asked, confused. "It is freezing outside. He is wasting thermal units." "He is paralyzed," Vrock noted. "Jim has started talking about his snowblower." "Look at Bob. He wants to leave. His body is angled towards the exit. But his head is turned back. He is caught in a social gravity well." 20 minutes passed. The aliens watched as the humans migrated slowly onto the porch. Phase 3, Vrock sighed. The porch standoff. The humans were shivering. They zipped up their parkas. But they did not walk to the car. "Oh wait," Barb shouted. "I have leftovers for you." "Resource transfer," Glip alerted. "She is retrieving a container." Barb ran back inside and returned with a Tupperware container of tater tot casserole. "Take this," Barb said. "And don't worry about the dish. Just bring it back whenever." Bob accepted the dish. "New objective," Vrock groaned. "The target is now carrying a hazardous material container. We have to scan the casserole for biological threats." "It scans as cheese and carbohydrates, sir." "That's very dense." "Okay, really, we gotta run," Bob said, taking a step down the stairs. "Finally," Vrock growled. "They are breaking orbit." The couple walked to the car. The aliens powered up the tractor beam to full capacity. Locking onto Bob and Linda, Glip announced. "Extraction in 3, 2. Bob opened the car door. He got in. He started the engine. Now, Vrock ordered. Wait. Stop. Glip aborted the launch again. What now? Linda had rolled down the window. Barb was leaning into the car. The window phase. Vrock slammed his fist on the console. The deadliest phase. They are now sitting in a comfortable, heated vehicle, while the host stands in the freezing cold. This conversation can theoretically last forever. The aliens listened to the audio feed. Watch out for deer, Jim said. Oh yeah, they're everywhere this year, Bob replied. Tell your mom I says hi, Barb added. I will. We should do this again soon. Oh, for sure. Maybe when the weather clears. They are planning the next meeting before this one has ended. Vrock screamed. It is a loop. A recursive time loop. They exist only to say goodbye. Sir, fuel levels are dropping, Glip warned. Hovering this long is draining the reactor. We have to take them or leave them. I can't get a clean shot. Vrock yelled. The host, Jim, is leaning on the car roof. If I beam them up, I'll take Jim's arm with them. I can't abduct a partial human. The paperwork is a nightmare. 30 minutes passed. The car engine was idling. The exhaust was creating a cloud of white smoke. The aliens were exhausted. They are discussing the route home now, Glip wept. Jim is telling Bob to take the back roads to avoid the construction on I-94. Bob knows. Bob has lived here for 50 years. Yet he listens. He nods. Why? It is a ritual of submission, Vrock whispered, defeated. They cannot break the connection until every possible topic has been exhausted. They are draining the universe of words. Suddenly Bob tapped the brakes. The tail lights flashed red. Movement. Vrock perked up. The car began to reverse. They are retreating. Glip cheered. They are actually leaving. The car backed out of the driveway. Jim and Barb stood at the end of the driveway. They waved. They didn't just wave once. They stood there, waving frantically, until the car was a tiny speck in the distance. The vigil, Vrock noted. They must ensure the guests survive the journey to the end of the block. If they stop waving too soon, it brings bad luck. Okay, Vrock said. The targets are isolated. They are on the road. Dark stretch. No witnesses. Abduct them now. Glip pressed the button. Click. Nothing happened. Report. Error, sir, Glip said, looking at the panel. The tractor beam overheated. It was primed for too long. It is jammed. Jammed? It needs to cool down. We sat hovering for 45 minutes in ready mode. The coils are fused. Vrock stared at the screen. The taillights of the Buick LeSabre faded into the night. The Andersons had escaped. Not by speed. Not by cunning. But by the sheer, unstoppable power of politeness. Mission failed, Vrock grunted. Return to base. Sir, we have a problem, Glip said. What? The host? Jim. He is looking up. On the ground, Jim was standing in his robe taking out the trash. He looked up at the sky. He saw the faint shimmer of the cloaked ship. He waved. He sees us. Vrock gasped. He is waving, sir. He thinks we are neighbors. Don't wave back, Vrock ordered. If you wave back, he will come over here. He will talk to us about the saucer. He will ask about our mileage. We will be stuck here until the sun explodes. The alien ship shot straight up into the stratosphere at warp 9. Jim watched the light streak away. Welp, Jim said to himself. Must be one of them Elon Musk satellites. He slapped his knee. Suppose I better turn in. He walked inside, locked the door, and slept the sleep of the righteous, unaware that he had just bored an alien invasion force into retreat. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. The Midwest goodbye is not just a habit. It is a planetary defense shield. If you have ever stood in a driveway freezing your toes off just to be polite, hit that like button. Comment below, what is your record for the longest goodbye? Subscribe. And tell your folks I says hi. Drive safe now.